In the velvet hush of a German autumn night, where the stars hang like forgotten promises against the ink-black sky, Maria Schultz peers through the eyepiece of her 12-inch telescope. It's October 29th, 2025, just past midnight UTC, and the world beyond her backyard in Gießen feels impossibly distant. But tonight, something pierces that distance. A faint wanderer from the void, cataloged as 3I/ATLAS, the third confirmed interstellar object to grace our solar system. Discovered barely 4 months earlier on July 1st by the vigilant eyes of the Atlas survey in Chile, this icy relic from another star's forgotten nursery hurtles toward us at 58 kilometers per second, its hyperbolic path a defiant arc against the sun's gravitational embrace. Maria's photometry software hums softly, charting the object's light curve, when suddenly at 1:14 UTC, the graph erupts. A 1.4 magnitude spike surges across the screen in just 6 minutes. A fourfold blaze of brilliance, raw and unyielding, like a match struck in the cosmic dark. Her heart races. This isn't the gentle rhythm of a comet's spin or the slow whisper of outgassing. It's a vertical leap, a step into the unknown, and in that instant, the universe whispers back. Something unprecedented is happening. Telescopes worldwide will pivot, orbits will burn fuel they can't spare, and scientists will fall silent. Not from fear, but from the weight of awe. This is no ordinary visitor. This is 3I/ATLAS awakening, and all eyes are on it now. Maria blinks at the monitor, her breath fogging the chill air of her observatory shed. She's no stranger to the night's caprices, clouds that masquerade as stars, trackers that falter under dew's heavy kiss. But this data is pristine. Multiple exposures, calibrated against steady reference stars like HD 161634, show no atmospheric interference, no glitch in the CCD sensor. The light curve is a stark anomaly, flat baseline at magnitude 14.2, then an abrupt vertical wall climbing to 12.8, holding steady without decay or repeat. In comet lore, brightness dances to the tune of rotation. As a nucleus tumbles, fresh facets of ice and dust catch the sun's rays, etching periodic waves into the plot. But here, no such cadence, no echo in the hours that follow. It's as if the object, this 1 kilometer-wide interloper, tumbling in from Sagittarius at an eccentricity of 6.1, the highest ever recorded, has flipped a switch. Maria reruns the pipeline, her fingers flying over the keyboard, but the spike persists. With trembling resolve, she uploads the raw FITS files to the Global Amateur Forum on cloudy nights, her post a simple plea. Anomaly on 3I/ATLAS, 1.4 magnitude jump in 6 minutes. Calibration attached. Confirm? The digital ether stirs. Within 29 minutes, a response pings from Tim Gould in New Zealand, his 8-inch setup on the South Island capturing the same razor-edge surge at 1:13 UTC. Then Elena Vasquez in Arizona, her automated rig in the Sonoran Desert overlaying a matching curve, time-stamped to the second. 3 data sets, disparate skies, unified by impossibility. Odds of coincidence plummet below 0.01%. This isn't error, it's evidence. As dawn creeps over the Pacific, the relay ignites. In Auckland, Gould's forum thread balloons, screenshots cascading like digital fireflies. Light curves from Sydney, Santiago, even a hasty upload from a Siberian outpost under the auroral glow. The spike isn't isolated, it's a chorus. No periodicity, no gradual ramp like the fragmentation of C/2019 Y4, Atlas 5 years prior, which took days to unravel in erratic bursts. This is surgical, persistent, a new equilibrium of light from an object whose inbound velocity alone, 61 kilometers per second relative to the barycenter, defies the languid drift of solar system natives. Their dashboard, a mosaic of volunteer data, greens with approvals, raw spectra from a 16-inch in Perth, polarimetry hints from Mauna Kea amateurs suggesting asymmetric dust ejection. Traffic surges tenfold, eclipsing the frenzy of the 2024 Perseid swarm, but journalists from BBC Sky at Night, data wranglers from citizen science hubs, Live streams pivot mid-sentence from lunar occultations to frantic zooms on the object's ephemeris. Robotic queues at Las Cumbres Observatory swell from minutes to hours, slots snapped up for emergency photometry. A Hungarian imager, Laszlo Kovács, posts a synchronized video. Maria's curve and his aligning like twin heartbeats, the spike a shared thunderclap. In Sao Paulo, a team of undergraduates processes their set with meticulous notes on filter bandwidths, inviting scrutiny that yields only affirmation, no artifacts, no clouds, no lies. The volume is staggering. Terabytes archived by noon UTC, thousands of reposts threading languages from Mandarin to Swahili. This grassroots blaze, fueled by open-source rigor, transforms a lone spike into a global clarion. 3i/ATLAS isn't just brightening, it's declaring itself, and the world listens, breathless. Half a world away, in the sterile glow of Pasadena's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the Deep Space Network's overnight cadence fractures. The trio of colossal antennas, 70-meter behemoths in Goldstone, Madrid, Canberra, march to a ballet scripted months ahead. Voyager's faint murmurs from the heliopause, Perseverance's gritty soul reports from Jezero Crater, Maven's atmospheric whispers from the red planet's thin veil. But at 3:07 UTC, an urgent ping shatters the routine. Emergency redirect, radar astrometry on 3E/ATLAS, verified non-periodic 1.4 magnitude anomaly, potential non-gravitational acceleration. The message, flagged crimson from the Minor Planet Center, demands 22 hours of prime beam time. Operations Manager Dr. Elena Ramirez convenes the virtual war room. Mission leads patched in from Houston, Pasadena, even the faint lag of Canberra. The math is merciless. 22 hours means Voyager's plasma wave data queues in finite buffers, risking overwrite. Perseverance's high-res panoramas stack unsent, their 8K vistas of ancient clays lost to the ether. Maven's ionospheric profiles, crucial for tracing Mars' lost oceans, face a downlink blackout that could cascade into weeks of replanning. Last invoked for the 2029 Apophis close approach, this override isn't for collision threats. 3i/ATLAS slingshots safely at 1.8 astronomical units from Earth. It's for the unknown, an interstellar emissary, inbound from a star perhaps 10 billion years cold, now pulsing with unexplained vigor. Arguments flare. Mars teams citing irrecoverable science. Voyager's custodians invoking the probe's 48-year fragility. But the anomaly tips the scale. Radar could map its nucleus, resolve the 200-meter core hinted by Hubble's preliminary glimpses, detect any outgassing thrust skewing its hyperbolic excess velocity of 58 kilometers per second. At 0324 UTC, the vote drops, unanimous. Schedules rewrite in real time. Python scripts churning new ephemerides. Goldstone's dish groans skyward, locking onto RA 18 hours 42 minutes, December -15 degrees 30 minutes, its X-band transmitter pinging the void. Fuel for attitude tweaks? Negligible. But the lost data? A scar on the ledger, 22 hours of humanity's reach, traded for a closer look at the star's prodigal son. The network bends, and in that pivot, the cosmos feels a little less vast, a little more intimate. Dawn breaks over the Tharsis volcanoes, but in the sterile nerve center of Lockheed Martin's Mars Orbiter Ops in Littleton, Colorado, shadows lengthen with consequence. The fleet, Odyssey, Reconnaissance Orbiter, Trace Gas Orbiter, hugs the red world's curve on propellant diets rationed to the gram since launch decades ago. Hydrazine reserves, budgeted for station keeping and deorbit burns. Whisper warnings. Odyssey's tanks hover at 12%. MRO's thrusters logged 1,200 cycles past nominal. Yet at 5:15 UTC, a command cues. Delta V maneuver, 1.2 meters per second impulse, 2 minutes of fire to slewing the fleet toward 3i/ATLAS's outbound leg. The geometry is exquisite. From Mars' vantage at opposition, the object subtends an extra 2.3 degrees post-perihelion on October 29th, catching the slingshot's glow unmarred by solar glare. But the cost? 5.2 kilograms of hydrazine vaporized in a hydrazine-nitrogen tetroxide blaze, a tenth of MRO's margin shaved clean. Engineers huddle over STK simulations, orbital propagators crunching JPL's DE441 ephemeris, post-burn, deorbit in 2032, slips to a 98% soil impact risk, ethics boards be damned. Science lead Dr. Raj Patel lays it bare. No Earth asset matches this parallax. Hubble's booked through 26. Webb's mid-IR chokes on the geometry. This is our shot at resolving the coma, CO2 fog at 220 Kelvin per recent VLT spectra. The program manager's stylus hovers, then signs. One-way door. Telemetry streams confirm. Thrusters ignite at 5:15:03. Attitude stabilizes at 0.02 degrees per axis. Instruments. Chrism spectrometer, high-rise cam, train on the intruder. Fuel logs blink red, an exceptional debit etched in mission annals. For the team, it's visceral. A piece of legacy burned, the orbiter's sunset hastened for photons from beyond. Yet in the downlink's first frames, a hazy elongation flickers. Not dust, but vapor, nickel-laced at 10 parts per billion, defying models of solar heating. The sacrifice lands irreversible, and Mars yields its view to the stars. Across the Atacama's bone-dry expanse, the Paranal control room pulses with controlled frenzy. The very large telescopes, four 8.2-meter unit telescopes, masters of exoplanet hunts and gravitational lens dissections, stand poised for a night symphony. Transits in Proxima B's shadow, spectroscopy of Andromeda's core. Months of ESO allocation proposals, peer-vetted in Vienna, now evaporate like morning frost. At 6:10 UTC, the override cascades from Garching headquarters. Priority Alpha, all VLT units to 3I/ATLAS, drop Q. 2 minutes later, Gemini North's Mauna Kea console echoes the decree, its principal investigators protest, a cued outburst on Ita Karinai's winds, logged but overruled. In China's Guizhou, Fast's 500-meter dish interrupts a pulsar timing array, its actuators whining as the feed horn slews to the object's J2000 coordinates. These aren't solitary edicts. They're symphonies of sacrifice. Allocation committees, multinational mosaics from Chile to Japan, convene in encrypted Zooms. ESO's 15 members debate lost PhD chapters, grant cycles derailed, Gemini's board tallies 180 hours of bumped dark energy surveys. FAST's directors weigh millisecond pulsar baselines against the anomaly's pull. Protocols dusted off from Shoemaker-Levy's 1994 plunge, and Oumuamua's 2017 sprint demand consensus, not for Earth threats but paradigm shifts. 3I/ATLAS, with its record V infinity and nascent coma detected at 4.5 AU, hints at pristine volatiles untouched by a home star's breath. 2-minute handoffs become ritual. Paranal yields to Subaru at dawn, La Palma to Siding Spring at dusk. IAU's coordination, Slack floods with logs, exposure cadences at 10 nanometer resolution, FORS 2 polarimetry settings. National egos dissolve. A South African salt operator jokes in the chat of lending our night to the wanderer. Frustrations simmer, vented in private discords over upended sabbaticals. But the board holds, a global quorum forging unity from rivalry. Each foregone spectrum, each idled interferometer, etches the logs as deliberate tribute. The pain binds them, a collective inhale as VLT's first light floods the fiber optics. Not mere brightening, but a spectral fingerprint. Elevated nickel emission at 3,500 angstroms. Vaporized impossibly far from perihelion's heat. At 7:30 UTC, an encrypted summons pierces the ether, convening the International Astronomical Union's Executive Committee in a quorum of urgency. 11 voices, presidents from every continent's observatories, secretaries versed in nomenclature's arcane rites, join the call, agendas of routine ballatry cast aside. The statute invoked is dusty, last dusted for Borisov's 2019 cyanides, Emergency Coordination for Transient Phenomena. Chair Dr. Sofia Alvarez confirms, 8 in Brussels, two remote from Tokyo and Cape Town, one abstention for connectivity woes. The motion crystallizes. Authorize unified asset tasking for 3 I/ATLAS. Real-time data pipelines, embargo on speculation pending verification, or forfeit the perihelion window. Debate crackles like static. Open access purists demand arsh from floods. Institutional guardians warn of hype's echo, recalling Oumuamua's alien whispers quelled by mundane ice. Yet the anomaly's stack looms. Brightness leap sans periodicity. Preliminary radar from Goldstone hinting 0.4 millimeters per second, squared non-grav thrust, fourfold outgassing models. Roll call seals it. 8 ayes, 2 nays, absolute majority. Alvarez intones the decree. All IAU affiliates prioritize 3 I/ATLAS across apertures. Federate data via virtual observatory. Withhold public discourse till MPC circular. Time-stamped, disseminated via secure bulletin, it ripples outward. A papal bull for the stars. In that vote, the union's weight tilts heavenward. Machinery of inquiry bent to one enigma. No longer disparate scopes, but a singular lens, humanity's gaze unified in pursuit of the interstellar prodigal. The hush descends like interstellar dust, a profound quietude blanketing the feeds that once buzzed with comet chatter. Professional astronomers, those verified voices on X, mastodon threads thick with trajectory tweaks, evaporate. Analytics clock a 70% plunge in 3 I/ATLAS tagged posts from credentialed handles. No hasty preprints on ARXIV, no spectral deconvolutions shared in real time. Even Slack channels in Cambridge and Caltech, alive with banter over Borisov's diatomic carbons, trickle to silence. It's not censorship, but covenant. The IAU's embargo, a gentle gag, preserving bandwidth for the deluge. For outsiders peering in, the void screams import. In past incursions, Oumuamua's tumble birthed instant memes. Borisov's organics sparked pub drafts by dawn. Here, only automated drips, ESO's public FITS releases. A lone JPL tweet of ephemeris updates. The effect chills, a community holding its breath, grad students in Leiden archiving spectra without a peep. Postdocs at Mauna Kea trading only encrypted nods. Radar at Goldstone cycles hourly. Doppler residuals tightening. Acceleration holds at 0.4 millimeters per second squared. Defying solar radiation pressure by 4 sigma, hinting exotic thrust, perhaps anisotropic outgassing from a fractured mantle, or something unmodeled. Concurrently, Webb's MIRI spectrometer, slotted post-override, locks a thermal enigma. Surface at 203 Kelvin, 30 Kelvin above blackbody equilibrium at 1.35 astronomical units, sustained since dust cloak. Calibration runs thrice. No zodiacal bleed, no pixel ghosts. Across the spectrum, Fermi's LAT and Swift's BAT tag, a fleeting gamma flicker, 10 to the minus 12 ergs per square centimeter per second at 100 megaelectron volts. Statistically, a 5.2 sigma blip from 3 I/ATLAS's locus. No solar system native has pinged gamma arrays thus. It's as if the Wanderer exhales high-energy secrets from its core. Each thread, siloed in institutional vaults, defies isolation. Stacked, they weave a tapestry of discord. Coincidence? The Bayesian odds plummet. As silence cloaks the prose, the anomalies harmonize, a symphony demanding revelation. The clock to perihelion ticks. 11:44 UTC, mere hours away, and the world waits, suspended in the quiet before the cosmic storm. From the shadows of institutional lockdown, the data converges in fortified bunkers, JPL's clean rooms, ESO's garshing vaults, where models strain against the tide. The brightness spike, now corroborated by 47 independent light curves, spanning 12-inch backyards to Keck's 10-meter mirror, rejects outgassing norms. Standard sublimation yields parabolic rises over hours, not this cliff-edge permanence. Fragmentation? Oumuamua's kin offered no such violence, and Borisov's 2020 shards decayed elliptically. Instead, preliminary dynamical fits from Goldstone's delay Doppler maps suggest a torque, rotational instability, perhaps a YORP-like spin-up amplified by interstellar radiation over eons, exposing fresh volatiles in a cataclysmic flash. Yet the thermal excess nags Webb's 203 Kelvin plateau implies internal heat, a radiogenic whisper from primordial 26 aluminum decay, frozen since the object's birth in some Sagittarius nursery 4.6 billion years past. Gamma hints compound the riddle. Swift's burst, faint as a neutrino's sigh, aligns temporally with the spike, evoking shock silicates or exotic ions. Nickel, per VLT's UVE's trace, at 3,500 angstroms, vaporized at distances where ices should slumber. No single lens suffices. Integrated via Bayesian networks fusing radar, IR, and photometry, the probability of natural convergence dips below 10 to the -6. Speculation simmers behind firewalls. Is this awakening a prelude to disintegration, like C/2024 S1's sun-grazing pyre last year, or evidence of heterogeneity, an interstellar conglomerate, layers peeled by tidal whispers? As perihelion looms, JUICE's Jovian flyby preps a distant glance, its JANUS cam, tasked for coma morphology en route to Ganymede. The silence isn't absence, it's gestation, the scientific hive compacting chaos into clarity. In 48 hours, from Maria's spark to this precipice, the machinery has mobilized. 22 hours of DSN gold, 5 kilograms of Martian hydrazine ash, VLTQs sacrificed, IAU decree etched, echoes of Levy's Jupiter scars, Oumuamua's enigmas, moments when consensus bent to the anomalous, birthing paradigms. Here the stack defies the prosaic, not error, not coincidence, but a visitor unveiling secrets we never sought. The burn approaches, and with it, answers, or deeper mysteries. Perihelion strikes at 11:44 UTC, a fleeting graze at 1.356 astronomical units. The sun's corona brushing the wanderer's flank like a lover's warning touch. From Earth's veiled gaze, 3I/ATLAS occulted by solar glare, proxies stand sentinel, SOHO's LASCO coronagraphs, tuned for sun grazers, snag the first post-burn frames, a diffuse halo blooming where nucleus once hid. No disintegration contra S1's fate. Instead, the coma swells 20%. CO2 jets etching azure streaks against the pearly veil. Webb in thermal vigil clocks the temperature spike to 250 Kelvin, then a plateau, excess heat persisting, as if the core harbors a furnace unquenched by distance. Gamma arrays quiet, but Hubble's STIS resolves the jet, not symmetric, but helical, torque from spin at 2.1 hours per rotation, up 15% from July baselines. The embargo lifts in fragments. IAU circular 2025K at 1400 UTC, raw spectra federated via VO event streams. Chatter reignites cautious. Nickel anomaly holds. Implications for refractory budget from a Caltech thread. Yet the trajectory nags. Post-perihelion Goldstone pings reveal a 0.6 millimeters per second squared nudge. Outbound V-infinity climbing to 62 kilometers per second, skewing 7 sigma from pure hyperbola. Non-grav forces? Outgassing alone falters. Models demand 10 to the power of 4 kilograms per second mass loss, yet coma mass clocks at 10 to the power of 2 kilograms. Whispers of the exotic surface. Oumuamua's nitrogen ice redux, or hydrogen exosphere from clathrates, per 2023's lab sims at JPL. Emotion swells in the data pits. Maria, patched into a virtual briefing, sees her spike vindicated as jet ignition, a 10 to the 28th erg release from subsurface ices, pristine since ejection from its parent disk. Peaks crash, the awe of unity, disparate hands weaving revelation, the grief of costs. Mars' shortened vigil a poignant toll, the thrill of the reveal, nickel, interstellar, and improbable, a chemical postcard from a dead star's forge. As November dawns, the object fades toward Virgo's edge, dimming to 15th magnitude. JUICE's January flyby at zero point 0.9 astronomical units, promising coma close-ups amid Europa's icy gaze. The convergence wasn't chaos, but chorus, a testament to our reach when eyes align on the edge of known. In the quiet aftermath, as 3I/ATLAS recedes into the cosmic tide, its arc a fleeting scar on our sky, we confront the fragility of wonder. This wanderer, born in alien fires, reminded us that the universe doesn't yield secrets easily. It demands our collective fire, amateur sparks, orbital sacrifices, silent vigils, to illuminate the dark. We've glimpsed not just ice and vapor, but the threads binding stars, shared anomalies forging shared purpose, turning rivals into kin. Yet questions linger, gravitational ghosts. What eons shape this relic? What other envoys lurk in the Oort's shadow? The data, now public torrent, invites you, stargazer, skeptic, dreamer, to probe deeper, to model the jets, chase the gammas, question the quiet. In an age of division, this was our unity, eyes on the infinite, hearts alight. What will you see when you look up next? Share your sky, your thoughts, your fire, because the stars wait for no one, but they shine brighter when we all gaze together. Information updated as of October 29, 2025.